శృతి స్మృతి నమామి భగవత్పాదశంకరం లోకశంకరం. ఓం నమో భగవతే రమణాయ. ఆరభ్యతే జీవజగత్పరాత్మతత్వాభిధానేన మతం సమస్తం ఇదం త్రయం యావదహం మతి స్యాత్ సర్వోత్తమాహం మతి శూన్యనిష్ఠా. So this triad or the triangle of these three vertices, namely myself, Jiva, means a living entity. Jiva is living entity. What do you mean by living? Jiva pranadharane. The 11 functions are there. Prana is indriya. 11 functions. Even manaha is also indriya. Yo vai pranaha sa prajna. Ya vai prajna sa pranaha. The Kaushitati. Therefore, the Kriya Shakti, the power of action, and Vijnana Shakti, the power of cognition or knowing, like that we broadly divide it. But essentially, both powers, including the mind, are governed by that vital force, which is called prana. And so, that entity that is endowed with prana, that is called jiva. The word jiva doesn't bring in so much of belief system into it. That is how the smrutis and puranas make it. So anyway, this I have mentioned already one time. So there is jiva and jagat, the phenomenal world, not a world. If you say a world, it gives an impression that it is something real sitting there. So then you have to deal with it. So a phenomenal world means it is changing. It is like, it is so changeful that sometimes you pay less attention to it, it will take care of itself. Really, that changeful it is. You see, the world is like you know how it is. So once Jati Padnasha told, Jati Padnasha made a habit. He used to get a lot of mail in those days. He made a habit. I will open the mail on the 1st of every month, only one time. So he was having a butler, and the butler puts the mail, which is accumulated over the month, he puts on his table, and a cup of tea and some biscuits. And therefore he reads one after the other. And so suppose he has 100 letters waiting to be opened and read. By the time he opens all of them, reads them, now he has to give reply to them only for 2 or 3. The remaining 97 are already replied. Reply is already given to them. The silence is the best reply. You cannot have any better reply than that. This is the story. This is then when I saw that story means what? This is an anecdote or episode which happened. So when I saw that, it occurred to me, oh, this is how the world is. The more you pay attention to it, the more real it appears. Just ignore it. Just withdraw your attention. Ignore means it is not carelessness or whatever. It is not that. So very cognitively you withdraw the attention from the world. Then it will take care of itself. It is a phenomenal world. That is the idea. Then Paratma. Then Ishvara. I have covered this, but still a little recap. So Ishvara, that Ishvara, if you say Ishvara, somebody who is bossing over everything and sitting somewhere, you can say like that. That is not exactly what the word Ishvara means. The word Ishvara means the higher power. That is my translation. My means just take it in the right spirit, because Ishvara, Parach with the suffix ish. So, therefore, Isha Aishwarye, it's just the same, Panini's Dhatu Patha. Therefore, the super, the overlordship, the supreme power. In simple words, higher power. You can even say highest power, but the higher power is highest power only, okay? So that is how it is said. That is what it is called Ishvara. It doesn't mean a gentleman, etc., sitting somewhere. If you say one gentleman, somebody else will say another gentleman. The gentleman that you project is not liked by somebody else. They want their own gentleman. So you want a gentleman who is wonderfully dressed up. Whereas somebody wants a gentleman who has put a lot of ashes all over him. So everybody, munde matir bhinna, So everybody loves his own darshan of God. Not like that. What is this God? Look at yourself. You want to arrive at God, you begin with yourself. Start near, you go far. Start far, you go nowhere. So start near. You look at yourself. So what are you? You are the knowing entity. So that must be the God. That is what God is. If Atma is the knowing entity, a tiny knowing entity, if that is what you are, the supreme knowing entity is the God. Therefore, what you call God is an ideal derived from your own self. And provisionally, I am here, but the ideal called God, of course derived from my own self, is outside of me, provisionally. This is called upasana. You worship, mental worship or whatever. But eventually, you have to realize that that ideal, which you call God, and as though different, and therefore worshipping, etc., that God, Tattvamasi, that you have to realize. So how come I am the ideal? I am a tiny guy. How can I be the ideal? You are a tiny guy. You are not a tiny guy. Your body is a tiny thing, limited in space. You are not limited in space. Your body is limited in space. Why do you take the attributes of body upon you? Why do you do that mistake? Don't do that. Leave the body alone. Learn to leave the body alone. Then body is a space. Mind is time. Therefore, when you take the space and time upon yourself, you become a thing among many things. But suppose you stop taking the time, the mind, namely the body, the volume of the body, and the time, the duration of the mind upon you. There is no time other than mind. Time is a mental category. And so suppose you stop attributing the body and the mind upon you, superimposing them upon you, stop. Then what are you? What are you? You are not tiny anymore. You are not tiny, you are not bound by time either. You are that ideal. So realize that the ideal you are worshipping, even unbeknownst to you, as though outside, as to separate, that ideal is indeed your own innermost self. Innermost self in the sense, stop superimposing body and the mind upon yourself, that you have done what all needs to be done. So Tattvamasi, that is the Paratma. Therefore even the words, the three vertices of the triangle, they are named very correctly by the Maharshi or by the Kavyarantha Ganapati Muni. Very difficult to tell who has put those words there. Very difficult. They are equally wise or equally jnanis. Therefore Jiva Jagat Paratma and Tattva. You have to look at Tattva. Tattva is the essence, the reality. Okay? So that you have to look at. In fact, sometimes they say, Tachya, 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 Tani Tesham Bhavaha Tattvam. So that, three that's, Jiva Jagat Paratma, their reality. Now, there are three. Now there must be three realities. No. Three ornaments are there. Reality is one. That is the Tattva. So, there may be 10 billion ornaments, but Tattva is always one. Suppose It is like this. You see, when you go to America, you and I enter into the bathroom to wash my hand after food. We eat with hand, So after that, you enter into the bathroom to wash the hand. And then there is a sink and you open water and wash. There is a mirror before you. You don't need a mirror to wash the hand, but they put a mirror. And 4 bulbs. Why 4 bulbs? One tiny bulb is enough. But they put 4 of them. And there is so much light. You don't need that light. But this is all luxury, And then there is a mirror this side and this side also. And I look at this side. I see, theoretically speaking, I see infinite images. That is theoretically. Infinite images. This side infinite images. That is what you are. Aham Brahmasmi. Atma va yatidakam sarvam. I am Atma yatidam sarvam. So that is the Tattva. You are looking at yourself. When you are looking at the other, you are looking at yourself. So, this is Tattva. Anyway, now a variety of schools of thought, they begin. But finally they have to arrive at the oneness that I have tried to describe. Matam samastam. So, you are looking at a text that is prepared by 2 Mahatmas when there are multiple religions around. In that context, you have to look at the word Matam. When Shri Krishna says Matam, that is not the context. There are no Matas. When Shri Krishna was there was no religion. The religious identity began sometime in 4th or 5th century. Before that, there was no religious identity. Okay? If all the pots are blue, there will be no blue pot in this world. Only pot will be there. So, the religious identity becomes relevant only when there is a split, there is a division. And in Shri Krishna's time, there were no religions. Therefore, Matam is not religion there. Matam is opinion, or even better, a conclusion of the Bhagavan. But here, it is a religion. We are living in a world of religions. And so it is our duty to, and we take ourselves to belong to a particular religion too. Therefore you have to consider that aspect also. You see, religion, people take ceremonies and celebrations, rituals, ceremonies and celebrations as the religion. That is how they take. You have to think better than that. That is the religion, the popular religion, popular or populist, in whichever way you call it. The real religion, in the real sense, it should help us directly to experience the true reality behind all names and forms in this world. That is the true religion. It should help us experience first hand, not some second hand information. So, not some conceptual thinking. So, experience the oneness directly, the true reality behind the myriad names and forms. So, that is the true religion. When you arrive at the true religion, so there will be peace, bliss, cheerfulness, etc. bursting forth from you. That is the true religion. Therefore, in the present context, where we are talking of idantrayam yavadaham mati, this triad has a duration. How much duration it has? It has the duration which is equal to that of the me-sense. Yavati ahammatihi yasya tat yavadaham mati. So the duration of the triad is the same as the duration of the me-sense. So, I tell you, what is the true religion? Now we come to the true religion. Because ahammati shunya nishtha. He is talking of that. He is talking of an abidance. Nishtha means a nitaram sthitihi. Shtha gati nivurtavu. That is the dhatu. nishtha becomes sthiti. In English it becomes stay, stand. All these come from stha. Or else you have to say stha came from them, whatever, whichever you say. In fact, both came from a different source. Therefore, he stood his ground. Like that we use the expression in India, in English. That is the stha. So nishtha, nitaram sthitihi, means unwavering, unassailed abidance. That is the nishtha. So, when that nishtha, that abidance means you have reached home. You have reached home. By giving up the missions. Ahammati shunya nishtha. So that is the religion. That is the best form of religion, is to do away with egoism. You see, you do a karma and declare that I have done this. Aham. And for a result, mama. Mama is the result. Shashti is the phalam. So, I am the karta. Aham karta. Mama is the phalam. So, that is how you want to continue forever? That is not the true religion. That could be the beginning. Arabhyate. So, in the true religion, you do away with the egoism. There is a method also for that. First, do away with the mind, vairagya. Then do away with me, viveka. You are already in the embrace of the real. Nirmamo nirahankaraha. Sa shantimati gacchati. Shri Krishna. Shantim mokshakhyam. Bhashyakara. Therefore, do away with egoism. That egoism, it begins with mind, and Krishnamurti says, me. And that egoity keeps you separate from the truth, which is all-encompassing. The truth, the reality, which includes Jiva Jagat Paratma, that is the real. And you remain separated or isolated from that because of this egoity. Once you negate the egoity, so Sri Ramakrishna used to example. In the Ganga river for taking bath, during festivals, etc., they fix a bamboo across. So, along the flow, they fix a bamboo. By putting two poles, they put a bamboo in the flow of Ganga. Now, this side of the bamboo is now called bathing ghat. This is bathing ghat. Where is the river? That is the river. So the river is that side. This side is bathing ghat. How? What is this separation? The bamboo. That is the egoity. So the flow of life. Life is universal. Life is universal. But it has become ostracized now, separated by this bamboo of egoity. So, Sri Ramakrishna said bamboo, because that is Bengal, there are bamboos everywhere. Therefore, so, you say, the true religion consists of doing away with the egoism, thereby merging spontaneously. You don't make an effort to merge. That's why it is not a result of effort. Atmajnanam, it doesn't come under the category of effort, karmana. It is not effort. It is jnanam. Jnanam is always effortless and it is spontaneous. Therefore, when you do away with the egoism, even that is not an effort. Doing away is not an effort. Doing is effort. Putting the ego in place is a tremendous effort, I tell you. It is such a huge effort. People make an enormous effort. The whole life is spent in building that mythical thing, that phantom called ego. And finally you fall dead. Over. Life is over. That's why it is a shadow life, they say. Shadow life, not real life. Therefore, you do away with the egoism and merge in the universal self. In fact, this question is always there. Suppose we do away with egoism, can we live in this world? Yes. You see, I am giving as an example to you, not in any way. By doing away with the egoity that I am an Acharya, Vedanta, Parampara, put Shankaracharya photo and put my photo there. Shankaracharya is in the background, I am in the foreground. So, this is the egoity. Now, do I need it to take a class? Suppose I don't do it. Suppose I don't do it. Then I have to ask this question to myself. Do I need all this paraphernalia of Gurudam, Acharya, this title, and then another title and another title? Already a few titles. Swami is a title, Ananda is another title. So these titles are anyway, there are some more to that. And then a lot of structures around it. So then I become an Acharya and arrive with an enormous profile, like a rock star. And then take a class. There are 5 sense organs. Self-knowledge, you know. You need it? Do you need it? So I ask that question to myself, do I need it? I don't need it. So to take a class. In fact, do away with it, the class goes on smoothly. What all I need is bhiksha. And for bhiksha, do I need this egoity? You don't need it. Suppose you are egoic, you find shy to go and stand in the Annakshatram. Suppose you don't have any ego, go and sit there. Quarter to 12, go and sit there. Your bhiksha is assured. Some dakshina also will come. You need not even raise your head. You need not even show your face to the person who is giving dakshina. You need not show your face. You keep it down. They will serve food. If you want some more item, then only you can raise your head. Dakshina will fall in your lap. You don't need any egoity there. Suppose you want to love your wife. Egoity helps or it mars the situation? It doesn't help. Suppose you want to work in the office. You want to do your duty in the office. Their egoity is needed. You are imagining. You are dreaming. You are ignorant. You don't need egoism to work in the office. Somebody told me in America, there is racism. I told them, don't talk like that. If there is racism, you would not have come here. There is racism in India, not in America. If there is racism in America, how come even Swamis are going there? In India it is there, some reservation, there is that, all kinds of divisions are there, for whatever reason. Not in America. Therefore don't complain like that. Your ego is coming in your way. So do away with that ego and devote yourself to the work that you have to do. You are running a nice car, that must have come from your salary which the company is giving. So do your duty there. Don't look for result thereof. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Do that and see what happens. Therefore you don't need an ego. You don't need this egoity to live in this world. In fact, it is a toxic element. It intervenes in your peaceful, happy life. It is a very toxic thing. You do away with it. You see, what is the religion? Today I don't want to complete this verse, okay? You understand that? Because I am afraid of the next verse. Oh my God, I am afraid of even looking at it. Yes, this verse only. Because what will I do with the next verse? So in fact next verse is also saying sarvottama ahammati shunya nishtha. The same thing it is saying. It is coming to the same conclusion through another route. Therefore, you see, what is the religion? True religion. Rituals, ceremonies and celebration, that is how it has become. See, the world is like that. We are not criticizing the world. We are making a critique of it because we assume ourselves to be students of Vedanta. If you say I am not a student of Vedanta, I don't speak at all. Suppose I go to a temple, I don't speak, I keep quiet. And if they want to arrange my lecture in a temple, I avoid it. Because they are doing some worship there, and I go and I cannot discuss like this, Therefore, we are making a critique. We are critiquing. We have to do that. What is the spirit of religion? What is the essence of religion? Essence of religion is the change of heart. That is the essence of religion. That inner transformation. That is the essence of religion. So, what is the transformation? You replace egoity with divinity. That is the, you see, as long as they keep the ego going, you identify with it, Keep ego going means you identify with it. You are the ego. So long, the divinity is away and it is the other. It is away and the other. The parokshatva buddhi. Ishvara mane paroksha. Ishvara mane away. He is very nedishtham, Shankara says. Nedishtha, he is very nearest to you. That is the Upanishad, nearest to you. Nedishtham priyatamam, such words are used by Bhashyakara. Therefore, as long as you keep that egoity, look at this disservice or this catastrophe that is wrought by the egoity, that it makes the divinity, which is your own innermost, your own true self, your own essence, that is the divinity, this egoity makes the divinity far off as though, and then the other, and then unknown, unseen or unknown, parokshatva buddhi. What a misfortune that this egoity is causing. So you have to replace this egoity with the divinity. That's the transformation. In fact, I prefer to call it transmutation. Like mutation means at the level of DNA you have to bring in a change. Transmutation. The ego DNA should be replaced by divinity DNA. So, you should not go for the outward form of religion to be real. That is not the real religion. It is most unfortunate that the greater stress is laid on such secondary things as social customs, marriage. In marriage, a big function is done, and a lot of stress is laid upon it. And we Swamis are the guests there. In fact, a Swami is an undesirable presence in the marriage pandal. An undesirable presence. In fact, inauspicious presence. Because Swami represents something which is opposed to marriage. What the Swami is doing there, that is very unfortunate. It is some social custom. They give they give importance to that. Let them. We should not give importance to that. That there is no religion in it. Anyway, marriage has its own value. That's fine. Ceremonies, rituals, they are not the essence of the religion. Then religious leaders, another problem. They are not the essence of the religion. Then these students of Vedanta should get into their mind, their understanding, beliefs connected with birth and death. They come into the domain of popular religion. They are not Vedanta. They are mentioned as a passing reference. They are not part of it. In Gita, Sri Krishna mentions that with an athava, athavainam nityajatam nityam va manyase mrutam. Manyase, that is how you think. I am not thinking that way. For me, Atma is ajaha, nityaha, shashvataha, puranaha. But you are not, you want to think differently. Athava, differently. Manyase, you think like that. Then he builds a small argument around it, that there is no reason to sit and grieve. That is the argument. Therefore, that is not part of Vedanta. It is mentioned as a passing reference. And therefore, beliefs with reference to birth and death, they are very much in the domain of religion, the populist or popular religion. They are not in the domain of Vedanta. Because in the domain of Vedanta, there is no death. There is no birth and there is no death. So, natvan neme janadhipaha. I was not born, you are not born, all these people are not born. I am not going to die, you are not going to die, all these people are not going to die. This is Vedanta. That is where it begins. So, gatasun, agatasunshcha, agatasun iva, cha ivarthe, agatasun iva. Somebody is living. Do you grieve over him that he is living? No. Somebody falls dead. Don't grieve over him just like you don't grieve over a living guy. That is what it means. Therefore, these beliefs with reference to birth and death, that is in a different domain, and that is not the essence of true religion. So in true religion, you have to give up, you have to replace egoism with divinity. If the word divinity, if it doesn't sound familiar, then you substitute the word divinity with love. Replace egoism with love. Replace the selfishness, another name for egoism, with selflessness. That is the true religion. You see, I tell you, as long as religion, the belief, the faith, it serves the ego. You think about it. The religion is serving the ego. So long that religion remains perverted, misdirected, and useless. So we don't give importance to that kind of a religion. Ahammati shunya nishtha. That is the religion that we are talking about. Ahammati shunya nishtha. Therefore, idam trayam yavad ahammati syat. So that we have seen. Then ahammati shunya nishtha sarvottama. So, in practical terms, what is this ahammati shunya nishtha? In practical terms, you can make a very scholastic presentation and all of that. Highly semantic way you can explain it. Being exists Sat Chit Ananda, all that explanations are there, which are good. It is all fine. But in very practical terms, the ahammati shunya nishtha. You see, ahammati versus the absence of ahammati. Because it so happens, it is like there is a Y. You follow the left branch of the Y. If you don't follow it, you follow right branch automatically. It is like that. So now you have ahammati, and if you don't pursue the ahammati, the sense of egoity, the me sense, if you don't pursue it anymore, then automatically you are into that nishtha. Ahammati shunya nishtha. So you need not make any effort for the nishtha. Just see to it that the ahammati does not dominate. It does not mess up the life. That is all you have to do. What is this ahammati? How it is operating in our lives? So you see, you are something. Now, you please listen to it with an open mind, okay? Do you want the speaker to confirm what you already know? Is that the purpose of your listening to the speaker? Not. Therefore, you know what you know. You are doing what you are doing. I don't come and check what you will do for tomorrow or today evening. So, you have to listen with an open mind. You see, I am. I am. What? I am what I am. Okay? But I want to become something other than what I am. That is ahammati. Means, what I am unhappy with already. I am something. I have an opinion about myself. This is what I am. And I am unhappy with myself. I am a millionaire. I am very unhappy that I am only a millionaire. That is the unhappiness. Okay? So, many grihasthas are unhappy that they have not yet become sannyasis. That is the ego sense. I tell you, the ego sense, it is everywhere. And I know some grihasthas, in Andhra Pradesh there is a temple, and there is a ritual in that temple, highly celebrated ritual. The marriage of the god. God gets married. That is the ritual. And it costs 100,000 rupees or even more in money terms. And effort, a lot of effort. You have to work on it for a week. So that is the ritual. And there are any number of people that they are unhappy. They are standing in the queue. They are trying to bribe the officers and the people who arrange these things because they have not yet done that ritual. Now, outwardly it looks, at the outset it looks as if this person is a religious person. He is a religious person. That is how it looks. Because my neighbor has already done that ritual, I have not done. And I have to do. He is a religious person. But if the religion that is pursued by the gentleman is serving the ego. So, like a person has performed Agnishtoma. Now he is called Somayaji. They declare, Bhavan Somayaji Bhavati, like that. Like that they declare. He is very happy and proud. He has accomplished something very great ritual. And after a week, he starts feeling sad that he has not yet done Vajapaya or Chayana, Mahagni Chayana, some other ritual. So, this is what I am. And I am not satisfied with what I am. I want to become something other than what I am. This is the ego sense. This is the ahammati, the me sense. Now, suppose you say, why to start with you? Let me start with me. Suppose I say, I am an acharya or a guru of some moderate standing. I want to become a guru of higher standing. Now, I am using the entire Vedanta to serve the me sense. Suppose you say, I am deputy superintendent yet. When will I become superintendent? I am not getting the promotion because the boss is a castiest guy or a racist guy. I do not belong to the race which he prefers. That's why I am not getting it. When will I get? Which ritual I have to perform to get that promotion? There is a gentleman who knows how to get promotions for people by making the planets favorable to the people. And so go and consult him. Now what is going on there? The religion is serving the ego. Therefore, there is an extraordinary struggle to become, in whole life it is like that, to become something other than what I am. That is the ahammati. I suggest our religious life, our social life, our education, And even the morality, the social morality that we follow is based on this attempt to become something other than what I am. So the brahmachari is unhappy because he is not yet married. The married guy is unhappy because he did not get promotion. The promoted guy is unhappy that he is not yet a millionaire. The millionaire is unhappy that he is not yet a billionaire. The husband is unhappy that he is not yet a father. The father is unhappy that he is not a proud father. Everybody is unhappy. The Swami is unhappy that he is not a bigger acharya, a junior acharya. Everybody is unhappy. Everybody is struggling. This is how the ego sense is working in our lives. So you have to ask the question, how come life from birth to death is a process of constant struggle? Why? How? Why it is happening so? Constant struggle. Life, everyday existence is such a struggle, a battle with oneself. This is the first chapter of Gita. Don't psychoanalyze the Krishna and Arjuna. This is the first chapter of Gita. Why there is so much struggle? So, the reason is, life as we know it, as we live it, is an endless process of becoming. Samsara, the word, can be nicely translated as a process of becoming. Samyak sarati asmin iti samsaraha. Jevaha asmin samyak, constantly, sarati, moving forward, becoming and becoming and becoming. So, means what is this becoming? Moving, it's a movement. Moving from what is to what is not. Like my bank account is this, and it has to grow into that. That is one movement. Outward, the things that are around me, I own this car, and that has to be replaced by another car. You see, in the market, the advertisement people, the marketing people, they are if they come to Vedanta classes, they can catch very well. This Madison Avenue Pandits, etc., they say, they can catch the Vedanta very well because they study the psychology of the human mind, the psychology of the society. Every human being, he wants a movement from what is to what is not. That movement is very intrinsic to the human being. That is how the ego is playing the game. And therefore they look at that. Therefore they say, you can bring your old TV and take a new TV. You have to say that. Because old TV is showing the film alright, and he is satisfied with it. Now you put an idea into his mind. He is open to such ideas. Because he is willing to move from what is to what is not. So old TV, whatever TV it is, but that TV is not. So now you bring it into focus, so that he will not be able to sit at home in the chair and watch the TV anymore. He has to put the TV on his shoulders and bring it to the shop along with his credit card. Because he has to make this movement from what is to what is not. Now this started with car, it was started with what it started, a refrigerator, TV. It is working. And now, recently I have seen this for your cell phone. You bring your old cell phone and take the new one. From what is to what is not. Then marriage also. So this applies. The same old wife or husband. So this way. This is the movement. This movement is there. That is how we are. It is not about grihastha or sannyasi. It is about the human mind. This is how we are. And this is the game of that ego sense. Recognize that game. Is there any virtue in this moment? No. There is no virtue in this moment. Then where is virtue? Ahammati shunya nishtha. There is virtue in being, not in becoming. I don't need to become anything. I am what I am. It is better to know what I am than struggling to become what I am not. It is better to use what I have than struggle to acquire what I have not. This is the difference between being versus becoming. This is the difference between Atmanishtha versus Samsara. This is a very practical, very real, very factual in everyday existence of life, the way we live it. That is how, therefore, Vedanta is not, what I am discussing is not a philosophical discourse. It is not a philosophical, is this philosophical discourse? It is everyday life situation we are examining. Of course it is philosophical also. You cannot deny that. Therefore, so being, what is being? What is being? Being is recognizing or realizing what is. That is the being. Please put it in your mind. Recognizing or realizing what is. You don't even pay attention to what is. In your anxiety to become what is not, to acquire what is not, or to become what I am not, you don't even pay attention. So, this struggle, it's a struggle. Becoming is a struggle. I tell you, there are a few things which are major obstacles for self-realization. That is struggle, which generates conflict, which produces anxiety. You see, a person, Swamiji, I have to finish 5 lakhs before 31st of this month. I said, you are making a mistake. You need not finish. The number some number is mentioned for some reason. The number is not sacrosanct. You need not finish the number. You stop struggling. You say, I knew a person. The person took to sannyas. These things happen. And I give that as an example. This is my problem also. I give all contemporary examples. So, because this is the study of life. And this is not a kind of utopian philosophical discourse. Study of life. I knew a person, very good meaning person, took to sannyas. It is not easy. Taking to sannyas is not easy. You have to stand in winter in Ganga for 25 minutes. You tell me, are you willing to take sannyas? No. You have to stand 25 minutes in winter there, Shivaratri day, in water. Guru will be sitting on a mat on the, with a nice shawl around him. Guru is very comfortable. You have to stand there with wet clothes and then make praisha, this and that. Not easy. You need a tremendous courage to become a sannyasi. So having become the sannyasi, so then a target. What is a target? Target means what is not satisfactory. Target, the moment you have target, was you are consumed by the target. It is said Bhagavan Buddha used to walk. He lived into ripe old age of 80 or 85, and every day he was walking. It was said that Bhagavan Buddha never walked to reach a goal. He was always walking. He never walked to reach a goal. Whereas we go out there to walk and then make a goal. I will go under to that plant and come back. Or I will go to Swami Narayan and come back. You make a goal. Right away you make a goal, even before taking the first step. By making a goal, you have already transported yourself from the present into the future, from what is to what has to become. People don't know the simple truths of life. They talk big ceremonies and celebrations. Therefore, being is recognizing what is. Recognize what is. I want a fruit. Okay. We will see. Let me see what fruits I have. A banana is there. First recognize the presence of a banana. Look at it. Yeah, it is good. It is nice to consume it. Now, still you need a fruit, another fruit which is not there. Yeah, I may need. Okay, go and get it. Nothing wrong. But suppose I don't need. One banana is all that I need. Then there is no need to make one step forward. So this way, anyway, a silly example. Something I am trying to convey a point. Therefore, being, what is being? Nishtha. Being, what is it? In Nishtha, you realize what is. That is the Nishtha. You realize. And then Nishtha is just a little more. Recognize or realize what is, then accept what is. You see, the beauty in marriage. There is a beauty in marriage. You know what is that beauty? You accept the weakness of the other guy, of the spouse, man or woman. You accept, you see the weakness. You see, people hide their weaknesses. They hide. In a variety of ways they hide. Put on a safari suit and so that hides diabetes, whatever. So put some nice dentures that hides something else. So put on something and hide what is. But how long can you hide? You can hide before the whole world, but you cannot hide before the spouse. It is exposed. And the spouse, male or female, realizes the weakness, recognizes the weakness, and then accepts it. That is called marriage. And then, so realize what is, accept what is, live with what is. This is called Nishtha. You do that, you are a realized soul. You fail to see what is properly because you have a very truncated vision. You look through a prism of your egoity, and therefore you fail to see what is, and then project what should be, and struggle to get it, or struggle to become that. This is samsara. Therefore, you see, a Mahatma said, suppose you get some illness. Okay, you have to go to a doctor. That much pragmatism is always there. You have to go to a doctor. You will take a medicine and all that. That is always there. But don't be in a big hurry. What is the hurry? First, you welcome the illness. And stay with it. Try to stay with it. Because in welcoming, in accepting, in staying, you are emulating what is called Nishtha. In throwing it away, I mean not physically, mentally, I mean resisting. In psychologically resisting the illness, you resist the illness psychologically. This is the difference between Indian society and some of the advanced societies of the West. In India, they don't resist that much. They don't resist. Suppose the hair becomes white. No, it cannot happen. Why cannot happen? Hair become white, it's okay. Our mothers, they bear or they wear the wrinkles with a lot of pride and dignity. Whereas in the West, you cannot have wrinkles. How come? There cannot be wrinkles. Now what to do? You have to inject some silicone oil into the wrinkle or something else. Wrinkles are wrinkles to speak of wisdom, experience. So many things they speak of, Anyway, so illness, some illness. Who wants illness? Nobody wants illness. But it is not about our wanting or not wanting. Illness. You welcome it. It has come. It's a guest. Atithi devo bhava. You welcome it. It has come. I welcome it. Hair became white. I welcome it. Bald head. Welcome it. Less teeth. Welcome it. You welcome it. What a big deal. The body is going to burn on the fire any time. Nobody is going to live. Nobody is going to live as long as he is sure of, or whatever. So welcome it, the illness, and stay with it. Don't rush to a physician and a medicine immediately. Stay with it, and then you befriend it, and then it's okay. It is becoming a difficult thing, and pain is there, and daily life is getting messed up. Chalo, go to the doctor. Take the medicine. So be very sober about it. Don't be in a hurry. I have to get. So I have already purchased the ticket day after tomorrow. So give me injections and tablets, etc., so that this fever will go away and I can catch the flight. Don't make life like that. Whole life becomes like that. So always with what next? Always becoming something other than what I am. Always struggling to acquire something other than what I have. So this is how we are living. This is the game of the ahammati. This is the entire becoming is the game of ahammati. You don't play that game. You don't use your knowledge, your intelligence, your life force to support that ahammati. You don't use religion for supporting the ahammati. Don't do that mistake. And so there is, instead of becoming, you ask the question, instead of becoming, can I be? That is the question. In becoming, it is samsara. Becoming is samsara. In being, you may ask what happens. In being, there is a radical transformation in you. That is the being. Don't underestimate the power of being. It is not a stale state. It is the most powerful state, the being. There is a tremendous, this is what I told, you keep the body still for 5 minutes daily. That 5 minutes there is silence. As long as you keep the body still, the mind remains still, silent, naturally, without inducing. And that silence is not void, that silence is the pure being. That is the nishtha. Do it 5 days, for 40 days, let us say. 5 minutes, do it 5 minutes per day. 5 minutes. If you do it twice, that is wonderful, but at least once. You can do it in a bus, or in a tram, or in a local train, you can do it. So, not while driving the car, etc. Somebody else driving is okay. And so, you do it 5 minutes daily, 40 days. You are not the same person. There is a tremendous inner transformation. You experience a lot of peace, quiet, etc. And people around you see you a more sober, loving, tender, gentle person. That kind of a transformation will happen. Being. Being is everything. Being is Brahman. Sat. Sadekameva samyadamagra asit. That being is ever with you. You are never away from it. You need not search for it. You need not struggle for it. It will embrace you. You need not reach it. It will take you. Knock it. The door will be open. Call for it. The call will be answered. Seek it. It will be given unto you. That is God. That is the God. Therefore, let us say the verse one time. Arabhyate jiva jagat paratma tattvabhidhanena matam samastam idantrayam yavadaham mati syat sarvottamaham mati shunya nishtha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantan Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobrahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Lokas Samastas Sukhino Bhavantu. Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam. Om